All right, what is going on, everyone? Back again, this time with the locals finals from last Sunday at Tap Down Gaming in Valencia. You guys all saw the power of Nick's Ulforce deck in the last video, and you know what? He took it undefeated all the way to the finals. He went 3-0, except now in order to take the whole enchilada, he has to go up against none other than Zergod, aka the Zergod, local legend. He's been on quite the win streak, and this week he is choosing to pilot. It is an ancient blue hybrid variant with the ancient Gabumon package, or ancient Garurumon I should say. So pretty standard openings from both sides. We see a Sora Joe with a Veedramon on the left for Nick, and on the right Zergod, he's got a Strawbymon out, which he used to search, and he's swinging into security, hits the V-Tamer tie. Nick already seeing some good Tamer value in his back row. Zergod follows up with the Bokomon to reveal top 5, hits a Sora Joe and a Kori Kakumon. Pretty fair search from the Bokomon there. Let's see what he goes for next. Looks like it's a thinking phase. Overall, I would say that Blue Hybrid is definitely favored in this matchup, considering the strength of the deck, and Ulforce isn't necessarily the most consistent deck, especially the way Nick has decided to play. You guys all saw his build in the last video. Lots of questions about it, but you know what? It works for him, so we'll let it ride. Nick goes into Arrow Veedramon in security, or in raising, I should say. That would be the one from the starter deck that gives security +1 and has jamming as its main effect. Nick, if he has the Ulforce in his hand, he might be able to threaten an OTK. He just needs one more Tamer that can suspend itself and an Ulforce. I'm not sure if he has it or not. I would assume no, except I do see Sora and Joe there in his hand. Let's see if he drops it, and then in that case he would be setting himself up for OTK. Decides to Howling Memory Boost instead, is valuing his security more and the potential memory boost. Looks like he's, actually he can do both. It looks like the Howling and the Sora and Joe. Seems to forget that the Howling, there we go, a nice reminder from his friend on the side there that the Howling should remain in play. Back to Zergod for play. His Bokomon is stunned, so he can't attack with it. That will ensure that the Sora and Joes can proc next turn. Zergod goes ahead, raises the Strawbymon, hits another V-Tamer tie in security. Nick's security is so godlike in these last few matches. Let's see if it's enough to take the victory. He just does need the Ulforce in hand to be able to do it. Looking a little frustrated. Look, he probably doesn't have it, considering he knows just an Ulforce is all he needs to take the game. All right, just another Davis from Zergod, and then let's see what he's going to go into now. He still has one memory, goes into Kumamon to pass the turn over to 1, and then Nick is going to gain 4 memory from the Sora and Joes, putting him to 5. Not a bad play from Zergod. Sets himself up to go for game next turn with 3 swings. However, Nick, let's see if he sees the Ulforce. Is he going to tap the V-Tamer ties? He can afford to tap at least 1, and then he still has OTK. And if he's digging for Ulforce, then that's what he has to do. Really thinking over his plays, considering his options. What does he go for? He's just going to swing. Okay, regrets it. Never mind. Yeah, I would say tapping the V-Tamer here is probably the correct move. If he had the Ulforce, he definitely would have slammed it. He's thinking. Lots of thinking phase in this game. Yep, here comes the tap, draw. It's not the Ulforce, it's another Howling. Another draw, just commits to it, draws the Rena. I don't think that's going to be enough. Yep, so he just goes ahead and swings with the Arrow Veedramon, has jamming, and then he's going to use the Veedramon effect. He can bounce to level 3 back to Zergod's hand. That will at least prevent Zergod from having game, unless he has a hybrid in his hand, which he most certainly does, considering he's playing Blue Hybrid. Checks into a Tommy. Pretty unfortunate. At least Nick was able to get value off of those inheritables before they got stripped. But overall, it's not looking too hot for Nick. He only has 2 security. Zergod still has 4. Nick wasn't able to see his Ulforce in order to go for OTK. He's going to play the Rena, taking to 2 memory. He's revealing an Arrow Veedramon, a Cordramon, and another Arrow Veedramon. Takes the security +1 inheritable Arrow Veedramon. And I don't know what else he could possibly do here. I know he has another Howling Memory Boost in his hand. Perhaps he goes for that just to stun out another card on Zergod's board and hopefully try to live the turn. Except next turn he I don't know if he can go for OTK next turn. Well, actually he can. He still just needs that Ulforce. He can put it on top of the Veedramon. But Zergo is going to have the opportunity to probably stun that Veedramon since it has no sources. So Nick definitely in a tough spot. Definitely thinking about what his possible outs are. From this angle, I don't know what it could possibly be. Zergo definitely has game next turn on the board considering the Tommy he just hit in security. Let's see what Nick goes for. Yep, it's the Howling Memory Boost to strip the Strabimon and stun the Kumamon, I believe. Nick decided to stun. He didn't make it too clear here in his actions, but I believe it was the Kumamon. Zergo goes ahead, digivolves into BT6 Strabimon and raising. That's the one that is inheritable. You gain a memory when attacking if your opponent has a Digimon with no sources, I believe. So here comes the Korikakumon to stun the Arrow Veedramon, preventing Nick from going for any OTK shenanigans next turn, like I said. And Zergo is presenting 2 attacks here on the board. Goes into the Beowulfmon for 1 memory. He's going to swing, bounce back the Korikakumon, and that'll probably give him the hybrid he needed to go for game. Yep, because now Zergo can just swing with the card that's not suspended on his board, the Bokomon, I believe it was. Yep, so he's gonna swing with the Boko, and there's the Ulforce Nick needed. But yep, here comes the Korikaku over the Davis to go for game. Overall, pretty one-sided game 1 for blue hybrids. That's pretty much the strength of this deck. Didn't get to see any ancient Garurumon shenanigans come out, and we also didn't get to see Nick go for OTK either. Pretty unfortunate circumstances, but we'll see if he does any better going into game 2 here. Alright, so moving into game 2, Nick is starting off with the Demi Veemon into starter deck Veemon. And it looks like he's going to drop a V-Tamer tie to pass over 2 memory. Pretty fair and standard opening play for Nick. Zergo is going to respond with the Upamon into Strabimon. And then put down a Davis, pass over 2, reveal Tommy, Strabi, and Strabi. He's going to take a Strabi, the BT6 Strabi. Nope, the BT7 Strabi actually. It looks like he's valuing the searches off that one. Gonna go ahead and add it to hand and pass back over 2 memory to Nick. Nick is deciding on whether or not he wants to raise and decides to just hard slam another Veemon onto the board, passing over 3 memory to Zergo. That is not a good sign for Nick. I guess he is stuck for a level 4, no Veedramon nor Quadramon. Zergo responds in kind with a Sora and Joe, passes back over 1 memory to Nick. Pretty strong choke, and now Nick has to do something with his Veemon on the board, otherwise he's going to pass over 5 memory to Zergo at the start of his turn. Really thinking over his plays. I think Nick's best option here, okay, he does raise the Veemon. He's going to swing, check into a Hammer Spark. Ooh, super unfortunate. That's going to give Zergo the whole 5 memory. Oof, that's really bad check for Nick. I guess some karma for the godlike checks he's been getting in the last few games. Yeah, I would be pretty upset too. Alright, so Zergo's going to go ahead and raise. He has 2 Strabis on the board. Let's see what he goes for. Is he going to attack? No, he just digivolves into a Kumamon, strips the source, the Demi V from the V. Is he going to go further on top of this stack? Let's see. Nope, instead, oh, we see here the promo Lobomon. Is he going to go into Ancient? Yes, he does. He digivolves into Ancient Garurumon for 1. This is going to give him, I believe, at least 3 checks if the Kumamon lives. Let's see. So Kumon's going to swing into the Veemon. That'll guarantee that it lives. Then Ancient Garuru is going to swing and then unsuspends all hybrids or Garurumons, I believe is the effect. So he's going to go ahead and unsuspend the Kumamon. Alright, pretty big checks coming in here for Zergo. Kumamon's going to swing into security. That's going to be the 3rd attack of his turn. The 4th attack of the turn, hitting another V-Tamer tie. Hopefully Nick can transfer those draws into some sort of advantage to get himself back into the game. Digivolves into Korikaku for 1 to pass the turn over to Nick. The Ancient Garuru is going to die, and let's see if Zergo has another hybrid to drop from his hand. He does indeed. It's the BT7 Strabi, allowing him to draw or search top 4. He has 2 valid targets here. It's the BT4 Strabi and the Kumamon. He's going to take the Strabi, valuing the searches, puts the rest to the bottom, and Nick is stuck with 1 memory, and he is staring down the barrel of a game-ending turn for Zergo on his next move, unless Nick can do something to even out the game, clear Zergo's board, but I don't think it's going to be very possible considering the board state and what Nick's hand has looked like in these last couple turns. Let's see what it is. The Howling Memory Boost for a freeze, and then he's going to pass over 5 memory. Super unideal. Zergo is going to be able to threaten 3 attacks. I'm pretty sure he can attack with the Strawby and then double hybrid for game. Let's see if that's the play he goes for. I'm almost certain he has the cards to do it. No, I guess he doesn't, because he's going to go for the BT4 Strawby to dig for some hybrids, add Sora Joe and the BT4 Strawby once again, goes back to his hand, and let's see what his play is going to be here. I guess he didn't have the 2 hybrids in hand to go for game. He's going to Digivolve that Strawby and Raising. I don't think this is going to be a game-ending turn for Zergo anymore, considering his pattern of play so far. Strawby is going to Digivolve, it looks like, into Kakumon for 3 full memories, since there's no Tamer in the source, and he's going to stun the Vmon and choke Nick to 1. Pretty fair play overall, and now Zergo for sure has game next turn. He's threatening 3 attacks on the board, plus 2 Tamers. Well, actually 4 attacks if you consider the Strawby in his raising area, so Nick, very, very dire circumstances. He can boost to 3, Digivolve into Veedramon in raising, and I don't know what he can do from here. The Arrow Veedramon in raising comes out. Looks like it's just a hope and pray angle for Nick. Zergo, his Korikaku's unfrozen, brings out the Strawby. 4 attacks on board, and he has 5 memories. Not afraid of Hammer Spark insecurity at all. Of course, we know that Nick doesn't play it. Blue Hawaii Death just adds to hand. Strawby swings in, and the Korikaku for game. Unfortunately, it looks like Nick's luck has ran out here in the final round. Zergo showing us the power of the Ancient Garurumon Blue Hybrid variant. You saw him swing for 4 attacks there in the mid game, which definitely put him over the top. He likely would have won the game anyways, considering the matchup and considering the state of Nick's very poor hand. But hey, you know, at least we got to see what the deck is capable of. So Zergo was kind enough to provide us with his deck list. As you can see, this is a pretty standard Ancient Garurumon variant of Blue Hybrid. It has a powerful mid game with the Lobo into Ancient Garuru combo. You do sacrifice a bit of the single check or multi-check, potential of the Zulongmon variant running around, or the Magna Garurumon variant gives you more control. So this is sort of the more mid-range aggro version of the deck. As you can see, it definitely still works. It is still Blue Hybrid. You still get to do Blue Hybrid shenanigans. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we will see you next week for some more locals matches. GG's.